Welcome back. It's time for Word of the Day.
It is. It's a great way to boost your vocabulary and learn a little something new. Today's word of the day is adulation. It means excessive admiration, praise, or flattery. For example, celebrities often feed off of the adulation of fans, or he had not fully understood his achievement until he returned home to an outpouring of adulation from his local community. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I believe I am.
I think you are too.
Yeah. I don't usually say that, though. I say, like, admiration, maybe. All right. Well, one upstate organization is now the recipient of a generous grant to help support their mobile program. Meals on Wheels of Greenville accepted a $100,000 grant from Duke Energy. The goal is to provide 23 mobile feeding programs to serve more than 10,000 senior citizens throughout the state. We spoke with an organizer who says that this will help to better serve the community.
This grant is going to help offset unplanned overhead costs. Since last year at the same time, we've seen a 103% gas increase, and we just hadn't planned on it. And so for us, it will help offset that and make sure that we're able to continue serving.
The funding will also go to places such as Senior Solutions and Meals on Wheels of Anderson.
Clemson University is getting an out-of-this-world partnership with the U.S. Space Force. Just yesterday, Clemson joined the USSF University Partnership Program. It is designed to develop and retain a diverse, STEM-capable workforce and protect the U.S. and allied interests in space. We're told the technology will help make an impact so far out and even outside the military. As airlines face staff shortages and overbooked flights, passengers may have a chance to cash in. We'll be explaining why when we come back.
Check, check. Gotcha. Got me?
Yeah.
Committed to you. Fox Carolina. The morning news starts now.
Demand for air travel is returning to pre-pandemic levels, but airlines don't have the staff to accommodate everyone. We'll have a closer look at this chaotic summer travel season. Plus, South Carolina high schoolers will soon be learning some valuable life skills. We're going to tell you when personal finance courses will be added to the curriculum. Good morning, everyone. I'm Margaret Ann Carter.
And I'm Margaret Burnquist. Thanks for being with us on The Morning News at 9. Toys R Us is making a comeback, but not as the giant standalone store. We'll tell you about that format. But the Heat not going anywhere.
No, the Heat also making a comeback, if it ever left in that matter. But let's, of course, bring in our First Alert meteorologist, Brian Bachman, with an update.
All right, pretty much the status quo yet again out there, Margaret Ann. It's going to be another hot, humid day with temperatures around still where they should be at this point in July. But, of course, it's that humidity that always makes it feel that much hotter, and that will definitely be the case again today. But, hey, we're finally getting the sun to break through these stubborn low clouds. Live look out from Harley-Davidson of Greenville this morning. Sun's out over I-85 at 385, and more places that had those low clouds are beginning to gain some ground on First Alert radar. A couple of light showers trying to roll into northern parts of the mountains in Madison and Buncombe counties there, but not a whole lot of substance to them. Also some weakening showers falling apart almost entirely at this point over northeast Georgia, but we'll be on the lookout for more pop-up storms as we head into this afternoon. Also some good news finally for folks in Rutherfordton, where you've had dense fog all morning long. Your visibility improving back up to 5 miles right now, and just about all other areas of fog have burned off. Temperatures warm and humid, 75 Greenville, 71 now in Asheville. Go to 77 in Anderson, Greenwood's at 78, and of course, plenty more time throughout the day for the temps to heat on up. We'll head for the mid-80s in the mountains, low 90s in the upstate to go along with the heat and humidity today. If you're going poolside, make sure you keep an eye in the sky for some more isolated storms developing later on today. Coming up on 9:02 now here, let's send it over to Chris for your last check of this morning's roads.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. We are updating a couple of accidents in Anderson County, one in Greenville County as well. Stand by for that. Highway 81 at Cox Drive, again, still clogged up, and there are injuries reported here. Chafin Road around the Woodbend Circle area is another there in Anderson County. Also in Greenville County, look out on Batesville Road at Dillard Road, and then we have Greenwood, a crash at Trestle Road and Spinnaker Point. That's right near the Lake Greenwood area, so if you live or have to be around that direction, you'll see some emergency crews there. Travel times still slow. Rush hour still kind of coming to an end here at 85 South right toward Pelham Road. It is moving, but just a little slower than usual at this time. We'll keep you updated on traffic and be here again at 4 this afternoon with more traffic updates.
All right, sounds good. Later on today in Washington, the House is planning to take a series of votes concerning reproductive rights and same-sex marriage. Today, lawmakers will vote on the Respect for Marriage Act, which will force both Republicans and Democrats to go on record with their views on same-sex marriage. This would repeal a leftover law defining marriage as relationship between a man and a woman. While the legislation is expected to clear the House, it will likely stall in the Senate. This is one of several bills that Democrats are pushing to confront the U.S. Supreme Court's conservative majority. Developing for you this morning, air travel has almost returned to pre-pandemic levels, but many airlines are still struggling to keep up with that demand. That's leading to ongoing flight disruptions nationwide. Reporter Jen Sullivan takes a closer look at the summer travel chaos.
Demand for summer travel continues to soar, and that's fueling delays and cancellations with no signs of relief for passengers.
If you look back at 2019, before the pandemic, cancellations overall were about 1.6%. And if you look now, it's about 2.7%.
According to data from flight tracking site FlightWare, U.S. airlines canceled more than 100,000 flights this year, with 30,000 of them just since Memorial Day weekend. So what's to blame? Experts point to rough weather, heavy air traffic, and massive staffing shortages.
But it isn't that they don't have pilots. It's more that the schedules are too ambitious. The schedules are 2019 schedules with 2022 staffing.
Recently, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says he's seeing airlines making improvements, like reducing flight schedules and removing charges to change flights. But he still expects airlines to do better.
I'm less interested in the finger pointing and more interested in solutions, because we need to be able to get to where we're going.
Meanwhile, a FlightWare analysis shows New York area airports leading the nation for flight cancellations, with Newark and LaGuardia taking the #1 and #2 spot on the list. Reagan National, Raleigh-Durham International, and Cleveland Hopkins International rounded up the top 5 on the list.
Obviously, what we see is that there tends to be more cancellations and delays where there's more traffic.
And the #1 airport for delays is Chicago Midway. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And there's one way that passengers can take advantage of flight disruptions. Airlines will pay you to give up your seat on an overbooked flight. And also, we do know that there are several airports that meet the Chicago Midway. FlightAware says that these are the other top U.S. airports for delays. Number 2 is Orlando International. Third place, John F. Kennedy International, followed by Newark Liberty International Airport and Baltimore Washington International. Thurgood Marshall Airport takes the 5th spot there. And of course, as I mentioned, passengers can take advantage of flight disruptions as airlines say that they're going to pay you to give up your seat on an overbooked flight. We've seen this happen a couple of times. Experts say if the airline announces the flight is too full, you can volunteer to give up your seat in exchange for money. You can even negotiate for more than their initial offer. And you can ask for other perks like a better seat on your next flight or access to an exclusive lounge. Experts say airlines would rather reward people who voluntarily give up their seats instead of having to forcibly bump passengers, which of course would hurt their customer service.
Well, students across South Carolina will soon need to pass a personal finance class to graduate high school. A provision in the state budget directs the Department of Education to begin developing regulations for these courses. Some schools in the state already offer personal finance classes, which teach skills like budgeting, saving, using a checkbook, and even preparing taxes. South Carolina education leaders say these valuable life skills should be taught in schools.
We all understand our students need this. They need the foundation and the background knowledge and the schema and financial literacy, and rather than finding it out when it's too late.
South Carolina will join more than a dozen other states that require personal finance classes. Education leaders say it'll take at least a year before the courses are put into the curriculum. Cheap eats from a food truck may be harder to find. The National Food Truck Association says vendors will likely raise prices soon across the board because of high prices and inflation. Now, fuel costs for some owners are hitting $1,000 per month. Some owners of food trucks say they're even turning down catering opportunities because the expenses are simply too high. There's going to be a new generation of Toys R Us kids. The iconic brand is teaming up with Macy's to make a comeback. After going bankrupt in 2018, Toys R Us will launch mini toy stores. They'll be inside all Macy's locations in the U.S. Some locations, like Lenox Square in Atlanta, will have larger flagship stores. The new Toys R Us stores will begin rolling out this month. They will be, you'll be able to place, they'll all be in place by October, and that's just in time for holiday shopping. Coming up, some inspiration for how to make a skinny margarita. It's how we're observing National Tequila Day coming up this Sunday, like you need an excuse. Plus, with high summer temperatures, how are the workers at Greenville Zoo keeping all those animals cool? We'll take you there too. And to achieve any goal, you've got to be in the right mindset. We'll talk about getting there next. And a live look at I-85 in Greenville County, where everything is moving smoothly. Fine start to the day. Hope yours is going well. You're watching Fox Carolina, committed to you.
The following segment is sponsored by Oakview Medical Associates.
There's a difference between deciding you want to lose weight and then actually achieving that long term. Dr. Nita Bajor is here from Oakview Medical Associates to talk about it. Hi, Dr. Nita.
Hi, Margaret. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Different people find weight loss success using different strategies, but overall, what are some of the inspirational words you might say to a patient to help them get into the right mindset to get started?
Wow, that's a great question. I have a few good tips and inspirational thoughts. One would be to begin with the end in mind. Think of the best version of yourself when you do this. The other one would be to really focus on the small victories. Don't focus on big, of course you want to look at the long-term picture, but focus on little things that you do in your life that have a lot of meaning. Another one would be take it one day at a time. Don't be overwhelmed by the whole, big grand scheme of things. And the fourth one, which is really important, although it's weight loss, it's really lifestyle gain. So that makes a big difference.
I like that. And I know you encourage your patients as well to set these specific, measurable, and attainable goals. So we're going to go in depth on that in a few weeks. But right now, let's talk about some habit and some lifestyle shifts that can help somebody get started. I know we need to rethink our grocery shopping. What do you say about that?
Absolutely. We all do grocery shopping, right? Whether it's online or not. So one tip would be to shop in the periphery of the store where all the fresh produce is kept, the vegetables, fruits, all the whole foods are there. The other one would be to not eat foods that are out of a box or bags. A third one would be to plan ahead. Make sure you really get that grocery list and plan before you go out. And another big one would be to eat and hydrate before you go and shop so that you don't just, impulse buy a lot of food. So that's a good one.
Don't shop hungry. That's an excellent tip. And along with healthier eating, the other lifestyle changes that really make a difference might have to be with, making an effort to move more. And this doesn't mean you have to start hitting the gym every day and be really intense about it. Just moving more it could be a small thing.
Absolutely. I have a lot of patients that, they start off with a good intention. They want to work out 5 days a week, and then within a few weeks, it just doesn't stick. So I'd say focus on really the small things that you can do. Maybe just taking a walk around the block a few days a week. And, the guidelines recommend about 150 minutes of regular physical activity every week. That's about 30 minutes, 5 days a week. So try to get it in the morning, in the evening. It's a cumulative effect. So don't stress about it. Another big one is muscle endurance. Build up your muscle. It's not just about walking and running and jogging, but even small little weights in the house, that all adds up and it keeps the weight off long term.
Anything that keeps you going builds a good habit. Also, healthier choices in general have to do with, really everything you do at the practice. At Oakview Medical Associates, you talk about helping people make these better choices so they can avoid and reverse chronic health problems instead of writing the prescriptions for them after the fact. What makes the practice so special?
So our practice, I started it in 2008. We're family medicine practice, comprehensive, see all age groups. We take all insurances. We help people where they are and move them into a better cycle of health. And that requires time. We spend time with our patients. We listen to them. We do that in a very non-judgmental approach too. And we do focus on urgent care, chronic care, preventive health. We do aesthetics, age management, hormone medicine. So there's a lot that we do, but we do it really well, and our providers are very, very friendly, very communicative, and we want this to be, health is a big part of your life. So health is actually wealth. And so we believe in making you really feel empowered about your healthcare decisions, giving you all the tools, the knowledge, and then you can make the best choice for yourself and your family.
Yeah, because really there's a lot to keep in mind when it comes to getting healthier. And every time that people come into your office, they're getting that from you, and you're working with them one-on-one. So really important conversations to have. We appreciate you being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oakview Medical Associates is located at 11 Five Forks Plaza Court in Simpsonville. The number 627-0444, right on your screen to make an appointment with Dr. Nita.
Thank you.
Now your Fox Carolina First Alert weather.
9:15 now on this increasingly sunny Tuesday morning here in the Western Carolinas. Finally working against that fog and those low clouds in a lot of spots. Looking great here over Tryon. Beautiful start to the day with plenty of sunshine, a couple of scattered clouds there in the distance. It is a little bit cloudier in some of our northern mountain locations today. And of course, we'll see plenty of those afternoon heating clouds bubble up again later on today, eventually giving rise to some afternoon storms. But temperatures out there this morning now mostly in the 70s, whether it's 71 in Asheville, Hendersonville 74. We go to Greenville, we're at 76, 78 already in Greenwood, Anderson's at 77, and of course plenty more time for the day to keep on warming up. combined with the fact that it's still very humid out there. No major changes in our dew point profile. Still got those mid-upper 60s in the mountains and making for some very humid conditions with dew points well into the low 70s across the upstate. But on first alert radar, at least again, we're getting away from those morning clouds, keeping things on the sunnier side here now. Some clouds a little bit more commonplace in parts of the mountains already this morning. Even a few light showers there rolling in on the north side of Asheville, but no major consequence to those just yet. With the same weather pattern in place overall, however, today, stalled frontal boundary northwest of us and some occasional waves of energy breaking away from that. We will again, of course, look out for some pop-up showers and storms this afternoon, but not likely to be quite as organized as yesterday's storms because that front is actually weakening, so the energy it's sending our way is becoming a bit diminished. On future track here, we'll go from these increasingly sunny skies out there right now to the same story by the time we hit midday. And then you know the rest. We start to see the pop-up storms between the 1 to 3 o'clock time frame, mostly in the mountains at first, gradually building their way into parts of the upstate into early this evening. A few could even hang on again as far out as about the 9 to 10 o'clock time frame. Then we see them quiet down overnight. Partly cloudy and muggy again during the overnight period. And then here's a shocker. As we head into Wednesday, it's the same story once again. Thursday, though, will be a bit different. We're going to see a brand new cold front sweep out of the central U.S. and roll overhead on Thursday. That's going to lead to more organized and widespread storms for the day and lead to an increasing chance that a few isolated storms could become severe. So the Storm Prediction Center already putting out a marginal severe weather risk for your Thursday. We'll keep you updated on that as the day approaches. Forecast for today, upstate headed for the low 90s and staying that way all the way through the end of the work week. Storm chances will continue today through Thursday, and we really crank up the heat over the weekend as highs soar toward the mid and upper 90s. For the mountains, storms today through Thursday. Then we see highs stay in the 80s through Friday, and also looking at some heat over the weekend with highs in the low 90s. Margaret Ann?
9:18 is a time with temperatures in the 90s. Many of us are jumping in the pool, grabbing some ice cream, anything to stay cool. But if you've ever wondered how animals keep cool at the Greenville Zoo, so have we. So Fox Carolina's Teresa Bull is here to show us.
A number of our animals are from tropical places, so they're accustomed to temps up in the 90s. But even so, they don't have as many choices here in captivity, so we like to just try to give them more choices.
For example, they feed some frozen fruit to the Siamangs. There's some apes here. They are enjoying it. They're so adorable, and that's just one of the ways that they keep the animals cool in this 90-degree weather.
Kylie Hoover and her family here, all the way from Georgia.
I saw them, they would eat it, and then they would take it out of their mouth again and then put it back in.
Kylie saw a mother, father, brother, and baby Siamang. Even the baby couldn't resist.
The baby was trying to reach over and grab one of them, and it couldn't quite make it.
Although, as Greenville Zoo curator James Travis explains, the frozen treats don't always contain fruit.
Our leopards or our lions, we can use leftover blood from when we cut up our meat products for them, and we can mix that with some water and we can pour that into a big container and make a blood popsicle.
Which might sound gross to us, but delicious for the big cats. The zoo also lays out fans for the red pandas. Enclosures are temperature controlled, plus they have misters. But that doesn't always mean the animals use their options correctly.
It's funny, sometimes you think they'll run right over and grab it and start eating it, but sometimes they'll just walk over and they'll just lay down on top of it because it feels nice and cold.
But who could blame them? In Greenville, Teresa Bowles, Fox Carolina News.
Just chilling. Well, the zoo is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day during the summer. The zoo workers also remind visitors to wear sunscreen and stay hydrated. All right, well, coming up, President Biden may not wait for Congress to act on climate change. We're going to have more on what he could be planning. Plus, KFC says they're hoping that a certain type of customer will love their new nuggets. We'll tell you all about their new strategy. And a live look this morning in Charleston at the bridge between Charleston and Mount Pleasant, the Yorktown right there as well. A gorgeous look along our coast. We're back after this. We're back with the Fox Carolina follow-up. A crew from Stephen Colbert's Late Show will not be charged after they were arrested by U.S. Capitol Police. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia is declining to prosecute the case. The team was arrested for unlawful entry last month while they filmed a comedy segment. The U.S. Attorney's Office said that they wouldn't be able to get a conviction because the group had initially been invited into the building. Well, the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby crowned a first-time champ last night. Washington National star Juan Soto hit a 53 total homers in Dodger Stadium. The 23-year-old is the second youngest player to ever win the Derby. And the best baseball players in America will hit the field tonight in the MLB All-Star Game right here on Fox Carolina. So here's a quick preview.
The 92nd All-Star Game here on Fox from Dodger Stadium. Cannot wait with the Hall of Famer Frank Thomas, soon-to-be Hall of Famer Big Papi David Ortiz, A-Rod Alex Rodriguez, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So there's a lot of fun storylines in this one. What are you looking for on Tuesday night?
I think it's going to be the hottest ticket in town, all the stars coming out, and none bigger than the way the game will start, Papi, with Ohtani against Mr. Clayton Kershaw.
I don't think it's going to be a place on earth with many stars we're going to have during the All-Star game. But I want to see how the starting pitcher from the National League go through this lineup right here. It's a joke.
And you're right about that. The American League team is very stacked with home run hitters. The National League look very athletic, so that's why we play the game. It's not on paper.
Yeah. Clayton Kershaw gets a start for the National League. First ever All-Star start here at home. Shane McClanahan from the Rays gets a start for the American League. Can't wait to see it. 7 Eastern, our coverage from right here at Dodger Stadium.
And you can check out the MLB All-Star Game right here on Fox Carolina tonight. That'll be followed by the 11 o'clock news.
On the Fox Carolina Money Watch, Instagram is beefing up its online shopping capabilities. That company says it'll allow business accounts to send invoices and accept payments all through Instagram's direct messaging system. Currently, businesses that sell through Instagram have to use a third-party platform to complete their transactions. This also means customers will be able to place orders, pay, and track their items through the Instagram app. Last year, restaurants battled it out in the chicken sandwich wars. In 2022, it's all about nuggets. KFC says it is hoping to attract Gen Z customers with its new nuggets. The company says it's hoping these will appeal to the 18 to 24-year-old crowd, which has been less interested in dining out. Right now, the KFC nuggets are only available at the Charlotte location. A Boston Market has its own version of nuggets coming. That company calling its rotisserie version the future of nuggets. They are offered in a signature seasoning or spicy option, and they are the company's first handheld menu item. We're celebrating National Tequila Day all week long. Why not? Coming up, how to make a refreshing margarita that's light on the calories. And what are the most popular aesthetics treatments at medical clinics? We're going to hear from a local office about what's out there. A live look for you at Myrtle Beach, a beautiful site to enjoy. Makes you feel like you're on vacation. Fox Carolina committed to you. We're back right after this.
The following segment is sponsored by Renew Health and Wellness.
We all want to look and feel our best, and Renew Health and Wellness offers a lot of solutions to help you feel just as vibrant and vivacious as you ever have, inside and out. Anna Marie Cantrell is here to talk about it with us this morning. Hi.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here. You know, at Renew Health and Wellness, people love your natural hormone replacement therapy and your Clean Start weight loss program, but you also offer some fantastic aesthetics services, and this all starts with a consultation. Go into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So whichever one of our programs you're interested in, we do encourage you to come in, take advantage of that free consultation. We can discuss your goals, where you would like to be, what you're trying to accomplish within yourself, and we kind of go from there. So we'll tailor fit a program that's going to fit your wellness needs, as well as with our aesthetics. Is a fantastic opportunity to help us, feel like we're presenting exactly how we feel inside once we get there.
Right, and we talked about how our hormones have a major impact on our overall health and well-being. Give us the general overview. What happens to somebody when their hormone production decreases? And that's for women and for men.
Yeah, men and women both. We need our hormones kind of present and in balance in our body for our bodies to work with us again. And so we can see things present from anxiety and depression to just lack of motivation, weight control issues. There's a whole slew of things that are not very pleasant to go through, but we do. And so with Renew Health and Wellness, we have kind of that bioidentical, all-natural option.
And I know you get huge reactions from people who have undergone this treatment. It can be really life-changing. What do they tell you about it?
It is. That's my favorite compliment that we get from our patients is, this really changed my life. We have some patients who have not slept in the same bedroom as their spouse for over a decade, and once we get their hormones kind of back in balance, they see that these things just fall back into place. And so we really give people their lives back. It's very exciting.
Well, tell us a little bit about your aesthetics offerings now. I know you're not only serving hormone patients,
Right.
plenty you can do in aesthetics.
Absolutely. So again, when we get you feeling better on the inside, a lot of our patients do want to kind of express that on the outside. So we have everything from Botox to laser hair removal, spider vein, color correction. We have a fantastic microneedling program that we can use our PRP with, spot cellulite reduction even. So kind of from the beginning to the end, as our patients might want to just dip their toe in the water with a temporary aesthetic solution, we've got it for them.
I like that. You start feeling better, you want your looks to match. Renew Health and Wellness is located on Howell Road in Greenville, and people can learn more at renewmetoday.com or call for a free consultation. That number is on screen. Anna Marie, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Now your Fox Carolina First Alert weather.
9:32 now. Good Tuesday morning to you once again, everybody. Sun managing to punch on through after those stubborn clouds hung out with us for most of the morning. It's going to be another hot, humid day ahead of us. More typical July weather, really, as we've been saying ad nauseum over the last couple of weeks. Here's what's happening on First Alert radar this morning. Just some scattered clouds here and there, a bit more numerous in our mountain locations this morning, and still looks like some hints of some light showers are trying to hang on the north end of Asheville and farther up along I-26 there. Heading farther to the southwest, you can see there's another wave of storms rolling in toward the Atlanta area. Could see a couple of those potentially stray into northeast Georgia by early afternoon, and that, of course, associated with more pop-ups that we'll see region-wide later on today. Temperatures warm and humid, low to mid 70s across most of the area. 77 in Anderson, Hartwell, and Newberry. Greenville's at 76, Greenwood's at 78, Hendersonville and Asheville also up into the low 70s at this hour. But amid those muggy conditions, there is at least a little bit of a developing breeze, mostly out of the west, if not northwest, coming in at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, so at least keeping that air moving. If you're heading to the lake today to either do some kayaking or just to cool off, keep an eye on the sky this afternoon for those pop-up storms. Air temps will be in the mid 80s in the mountains to low 90s in the upstate, and we'll also be looking for water temperatures, very swimmable, also in those low to mid 80s. I'll have a look at the storms and a look towards your weekend coming up in about 10 minutes.
All right, now to the latest on gas prices. They are still on the decline. The nationwide average is now at $4.49. That's down by about 3 cents. And South Carolina's average now below $4. Georgia sitting at $4.01. North Carolina's average is $4.15. And Congress is back to work this week, but President Biden could soon try to go at it alone on a signature issue, climate change. Reporter Doug Luzader has much more from Capitol Hill this morning, where there is a lengthy to-do list for lawmakers.
Well, the president and Democrats in Congress have both promised to take aggressive action on climate change, but public discomfort over gas prices has put them all in a tough spot. Most of us don't want to see higher gas prices. That, in part, led the president to that fist bump with the Saudi crown prince looking for more oil production. That may not exactly square with the president's push for climate change legislation, but Congress hasn't made much headway. Still, publicly at least, the White House is confident.
Joe Biden is someone who's been pulling legislative rabbits out of hats for, for 3 or 4 decades now.
Maybe so, but West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, the Democrats' pivotal vote, has all but ruled out a big climate spending plan, and the president could move now to Plan B.
If Senate doesn't act on that and doesn't take action on climate, he has a contingency plan, which is using his executive authority.
In fact, the Washington Post reports that the president could declare a climate emergency this week. But if he goes as far as some environmentalists would like to see, it could drive gas prices even higher as part of a transition to alternative energy sources. At the same time, Democrats in Congress are hoping to press forward on other issues in the days ahead, including legislation on abortion and efforts to bring down prescription drug costs.
The American people are sick and tired of the overpricing of these drugs.
The American people know that government can't magically make things cost less.
And that is one issue where Democrats may have the votes they need to carry the day, but it is going to be close. In Washington, I'm Doug Luzader for Fox Carolina, The Morning News.
The report says that the U.S. faces sharp headwinds in transitioning to wind energy. ClearPath, a nonprofit wind energy advocacy group, studied efforts in Iowa to use wind for power. Their findings say that the U.S. energy goals need to be sustainable, realistic, and economically feasible. The report says wind, solar, nuclear, coal, and gas all need to be used for now as America shifts to green energy. Iowa generated more than 55% of its 2021 energy from wind sources. 16 of Iowa's 99 counties, however, placed restrictions on wind in recent years. Well, millions of people in the UK are facing record high heat. The UK Weather Office says that the nation topped 104 degrees Fahrenheit for the first time this morning. Britain is the latest European country to be hit with this heat wave, but the nation is less prepared to respond. Most homes and small businesses don't have any cooling systems, and Britain's Supreme Court even had to close early after the air conditioning malfunctioned. Later on today, multiple Fuddruckers locations across the upstate are holding a benefit to raise money for the family of Spartanburg County deputy who was killed in the line of duty. That will take place from 11 to 8. We're told 15% of all sales during this time will go to support Deputy Austin Aldrich's wife, who is pregnant with their first child. We have a full list of participating locations in Spartanburg, Greenville, Taylors, Anderson, and Duncan on our website.
National Tequila Day is coming up on Sunday, and there are a lot of creative ways to enjoy that agave elixir. My friend Brandy Laster is here with a bit of a tequila tutorial. Thanks for being here, Brandy.
Hi, glad to be here. Thank you.
So kind of an obscure holiday on the calendar, but when people come into the restaurant and they find out that it's National Tequila Day, what does that make them do?
Well, people like to try different things and try new flavors. So this gives them an option of, trying something they may not necessarily try.
Yeah, and there are top shelf tequilas that are really fancy. There are the bottles we all recognize. What's the difference for real quick explanation?
So between a white or a gold tequila, it's all depending on age. So you'll go from your blancos, from your whites, to your reposados and añejos. And here recently, just in the 2000s, they've gone into ultra añejos. Yeah. And it's just depending on how it's aged.
Well, one of the most popular beverages you were asked to make is the skinny margarita. Why is that so appealing?
Well, I think women like it because it is a light, refreshing, and it's an easy drinkable drink.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got a recipe that you've perfected over the years, the Skinnylicious margarita. So let's get into it. Tell us how to make it.
Okay, great. So we're going to start off with a glass, and we're going to rim it with some salt. So right now we've got 1 orange, 3 limes. We're going to muddle this. We're going to take some pure agave and just a half of a tablespoon in here. Mix this around. This is going to give it just a small, tad sweet flavor for it. All right. And then you're going to take your tequila. We're going to use Husong's tequila in this, and you want to do 1.5 ounces in your pours. And perfect. And then this is the simplest part. This is the easiest margarita to make, and it's delicious. So you want to get all the juice flavors out, and add this with some ice, and just top it with some soda water. Shake vigorously. You put a little dash of organic lime juice in it.
Okay. And we've got this recipe. As you're doing that, we're going to post the
Yes.
recipe online so people can find this and make this at
Yes.
home too.
Oops, just a little bit. Okay.
They'll be glad they did. And then
Shake it very well, and it is delicious served over ice, or served on ice.
That is how it's done right there. That is
Yes.
gorgeous.
And then you can garnish it with a lime wheel. Okay, great.
And we'll just...
So this is going to be your skinny margarita.
Well, any customer is going to be thrilled to have that served to them, and they can find you these days at Hall of Fame Sports. Tell us a little bit about that place, what makes it great.
So it's so wonderful. We're a locally owned family sports bar. We're located at 531 Wade Hampton Boulevard. We do all kinds of stuff. So football is one of our biggest events. We have a great time. We have 34 huge TVs. We do bingo, we do trivia, we do parking lot parties, we have live bands and stuff. This Sunday we have a Jason Hayes playing. They're fantastic. So it's just a very upbeat atmosphere.
And anybody who's ever sat in a bar stool next to you knows how comfortable you make everybody feel. They'll love to come check you out there. Brandy.
We have wonderful regulars.
Yes.
So
thank you so much, and happy Tequila Day in advance.
Happy National Tequila Day. Thank you.
Well, workers who want to put in extra hours now have a way to catch a quick nap on the job. We're going to look at that device coming up. And a live look at Gatlinburg for you this morning. The Morning News continues right after this break. Keep it here with us.
The following segment is sponsored by Power Swabs.
Today we have a very special segment for you. It's an easy way to look younger, healthier, and feel more confident. If your teeth are yellowing due to coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking, you'll want to pay attention. Our friend, lifestyle expert Amy Vanderoff, says a wider smile can actually make you more attractive and visibly take years off your appearance. Hi, Amy.
Yes, I can help with all of those things. Who doesn't want the biggest anti-aging hack? That is what Power Swabs delivers.
Yeah, and I know you've got a really fun Would You Rather test, too, to share with our viewers about their smile, and it really shows how yellow teeth can affect your looks and possibly even your love life, right?
Yes, so many people aren't smiling using their teeth, maybe because they're insecure of their aging, yellower teeth. We show digitally altered photos with men and women alike to see who would you rather hang out with? Who looks more vibrant, confident, healthier, and fresher? Who would you rather kiss? Who would you rather date? You know, it just really demonstrates how whiter teeth can just make you look, again, younger, but also just more approachable and healthier.
Yeah, and people watching these are always wondering, is Power Swabs really that quick and easy to use? You brought some clips from actual users, and here's what they had to say.
I've smoked, I've drank coffee, I drink red wine. It makes my teeth darker. And using Power Swabs, it's made a difference. People ask me, what do you do to whiten your teeth? And I'm really proud to tell them that I use Power Swabs.
When I use these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth? With Power Swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
So avoiding that painful sensitivity, something Power Swabs users really appreciate. A lot of people who cannot go without a cup of coffee in the morning know there's going to be some staining too. So how does Power Swabs help with that?
Well, Power Swabs helps with all of the things you just mentioned because it's a two-step process. The first step, we're hydrating the teeth. That's why you're not receiving painful sensitivity. And we're also lifting the stains off because we are human. We'll indulge in coffee, chocolate tea, red wine, and the like. And then the second step is where you go in and whiten. It's very easy, less than 5 minutes a day. It's just a swab, so easy, no rinsing, no spitting, no unpleasant taste. When you do the less than 5 minute process, up to 2 shades whiter in that first application. When you use Power Swabs for 7 days, up to 6 shades whiter.
It makes a difference quickly, and in cases when people are trying to improve their appearance, for the most part, you know, they end up waiting for results. But you say with this, they're going to see results from the very first use with Power Swabs, and they don't have to use it every day either, right?
Yes, that's so important to mention because it's less than 5 minutes a day, no gunky trays camping out in your mouth, no painful sensitivity, and you see results right away. Again, up to 2 shades whiter in the first 5 minute application right out of the box. So yeah, it's instant gratification. It truly is one size fits all because it works on natural teeth like mine, but also artificial surfaces like caps and crowns and veneers.
Well, now tell us this. There are so many other whitening products out there. So what makes Power Swabs different? What makes Power Swabs stand out?
The biggest innovation here is it was created by a dentist to really address the issues of concern when it came to teeth whitening in the past, addressing lifting off the stains first, addressing hydrating the teeth so you don't have painful sensitivity, and also putting in a great package where, again, there's no unpleasant taste and it can work so quickly. Up to 2 shades whiter in 5 minutes is so remarkable. And once you use Power Swabs for 7 days, you're done.
And you make it look so easy because it is. So before we go, tell us about the special offer you've got for our viewers today.
Yes, so after the 7-day process, you're going to need a quick stick. This we're having included in your order for free today. This is your maintenance tool so you can have that bright white smile for many months to come. We're offering Power Swabs at 40% off plus free shipping as well.
All right, well, we've got all that information on screen now. I know people are going to want to try that. Amy, thank you so much for showing us how easy a brighter, whiter smile can be.
Thank you.
Now your Fox Carolina First Alert weather.
9:47 now the time. Good Tuesday morning once again, everyone. Sun's breaking out across most of the region out there at this point, and now we just do the usual. We wait for the warmth to really hit us here. We wait for the humidity to climb this afternoon, and thus wait for those pop-up showers and thunderstorms we'll inevitably see. We do have a couple of light showers hanging on as they move across northern Buncombe County, just north of Asheville right now, and head over toward Bakersville. As you can see, they're not terribly heavy, but just some early indicators that some wet weather is on the way for a few of us later on today. Still that same stalled frontal boundary we've been talking about since yesterday, draped from the Ohio Valley back into the central U.S. That is going to fall apart completely as we head from today into tomorrow, so it's not going to have as much energy to push our way. So the storms we do see later on today, I think, are a little less likely to be severe than what we saw yesterday. You can never rule out something becoming on the stronger side, of course, when we're dealing with these storms, so just make sure you're keeping a watchful eye on the skies. But it does look like Thursday is shaping up to be a more organized storm day. As for your future track here, next 24 hours, we go from the mostly sunny skies out there right now. We'll keep those going straight on into lunch, and then we do the usual. Heading into this afternoon, you got your pop-up storms around 2 to 3 o'clock. They'll eventually progress out of the mountains and in toward the upstate by about late afternoon, early evening, 4 to 6 p.m. time frame. We may even see a few manage to hang on like last night into the earliest part of the evening before then dwindling off overnight. partly cloudy, muggy again during the overnight period, and then we hit the reset button and do everything over again coming up on Wednesday. Like I mentioned, though, Thursday, not only with a new cold front coming in will the storms be a bit more widespread and organized, they have a greater potential, still isolated though, to become severe on Thursday, so the Storm Prediction Center already placing most of the area under a marginal risk for severe weather. We'll, of course, keep you apprised of that over the next 24 to 48 hours. So your mountain forecast for today, heading for a high of 85, warm and humid once again with isolated storms flaring up this afternoon. Hot and humid in the upstate, low 90s, but hey, at least that's right around average for this time of the year. Also keep an eye to the skies for those storms later on today. And do it again tomorrow and on into Thursday. We'll see highs remain locked into the low 90s through Friday when we finally get a chance to dry off. And the heat really cranks up over the weekend, looking at mid and upper 90s for Saturday and Sunday. In the mountains, we'll stay in the 80s through the end of the work week. Storm chances continuing today through Thursday, and then a little drier over the weekend, but hotter with highs in the low 90s. Margaret Ann.
Happening this weekend. If you're looking for something fun to do, the Greenville Theater's got a one-night-only experience for you. One of the oldest Led Zeppelin tribute bands, Zoso, will take the stage Friday night. The musical talent performs all of the hits from the 70s rock band like Stairway to Heaven, The Rain Song, Down by the Seaside, and more. Greenville Theater says that it's a show you don't want to miss.
They are an internationally known tribute band for Led Zeppelin. They have been all over the world, including here in the States and Australia. I mean, they've kind of been everywhere. And they're one of the leading tribute bands that's out there. So the fact that they are coming here to Greenville Theater, we are so excited. You know, it's, if you never experienced that band during the 70s, this is the time to do it.
Drown me out there. In August, the theater will host a 3-night run of an Elton John tribute, and tickets are on sale now for both shows. Taking a look over Clemson this morning, things looking really great out there right now. I mean, there's some clouds out there, so I won't say not a cloud in the sky, but for most part, it's looking pretty good. We're back after this.
Bacon, which is why I was tickled to
We're back at 9:54. You still have time to take part in the Fox Carolina School Supply Jam. We are rolling along with that. We have partnered with Ingles to collect school supplies so that students and teachers across our area can get the school year started right. And drop-off boxes are located at more than 40 Ingles stores across the area, along with our Fox Carolina studio. You can scan the QR code you see right now to get the full list of all the supplies needed, but it's everything you could imagine on the school supply lists. And we collect it all to stay in this community, and we do thank you for helping us out. In Japan, where some employees reportedly work more than 80 hours a week, they've invented a solution. It's the stand-up nap box. You'll be okay, just get in there. The furniture maker and a plywood firm in Japan came up with the idea as a place where drowsy workers can nap inside a box at the office. Box looks like a water heater. It's got support for the occupant's head, knees, and posterior. So you're just kind of in a position where you're not laying down, but maybe you could nod off. The price of it isn't known yet. Can you sleep in there? What do you think?
No, that looks like a coffin.
Yeah,
I would feel like I'm getting in a coffin.
A little
like,
creepy.
Well, you're not laying like this, which you would rather for a nap, but they don't have room for them all to lay back. So
I don't know. I don't
wherever
trust
you
it.
can get asleep, that's how they're pulling it off.
If you're that tired,
Yeah, you'll
I
do
guess,
anything.
Yeah, find a way.
Yeah. Well, some of the thunder keeping some people awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could see that again as we head into tonight and next couple days, really. Just a rinse-repeat forecast continuing. Looking for more storms to pop up this afternoon, tomorrow, and then again on Thursday. Highs in the upstate locked into the 90s through the end of the work week and going to get even hotter over the weekend. Still looking at some middle to upper 90s Saturday and Sunday. And for your mountain temperatures through that stretch, we'll be in the 80s through Friday and also looking at some low 90s by the weekend.
And a live look this morning. This is over I-85 right off of Pelham Road, where it looks like things are pretty hazy, hot and humid out there. Of course, that's kind of what we can expect, as Brian's been telling us all morning long. We'll be back here to start off your Wednesday tomorrow morning starting at 4:30. See you then. Ready? Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey there, I'm Margaret Ann Carter with the Morning News. Will somebody? Thank you. 3, 2, 1. Hey there, I'm Margaret Ann Carter with the Morning News. Former attorney Alec Murdaugh is expected back in court tomorrow after being indicted on murder charges for the killings of his wife and son. We will have live reports from outside of court. Now we want to check in with First Alert meteorologist Brian Bachman.
Thanks very much, Margaret Ann. Looking ahead to the next couple of days, still seeing the same typical mid-July weather that we've been seeing time and time again over the last couple of weeks. Only now as we start to look ahead toward Wednesday and Thursday, storm chances appear to be increasing a bit. We'll go over for that, plus the growing potential for some severe weather on Thursday. That's all coming up in your forecast. We see you tomorrow morning starting at 4:30.
All right. 3, 2. On the Money Watch, Instagram is beefing up its online shopping. 3, 2. On the Money Watch, Instagram is beefing up its online shopping capabilities. The company says it'll allow business accounts to send invoices and accept payments all through Instagram's direct messaging system. Currently, businesses that sell through Instagram have to use a third-party platform to complete their transactions. This also means customers will be able to place orders, pay, and track their items through the Instagram app. Cheap eats from a food truck may be harder and harder to find. The National Food Truck Association says vendors are likely raising prices soon across the board because of high gas prices and inflation. Fuel costs for some food truck owners are hitting $1,000 a month. Some say they're even turning down catering opportunities because expenses are too high. Now, there's going to be a new generation of Toys R Us kids. The iconic brand is teaming up with Macy's to make that comeback. After going through bankruptcy in 2018, Toys R Us will launch mini toy stores inside